Alright, everybody, welcome in and thank you for tuning in to another Hexdecks with the Hextechs. I'm Mythic Fishbomb here with Mantic,
Yeah, how's it going?
and we're gonna battle it out for you guys. I'm playing Gorestorm and Mantic's playing what was the name of your deck? Did you have a
Um,
name for it, or was it just?
like the old name of the deck was like I think Zebra Dong or something ridiculous because it's like a weenie troop deck and it's Blood Diamond, but you just call it Zebra or something like
Alright,
that.
so we're gonna delve into the decks, and Mantic's gonna tell us about his deck first.
Yeah. All right, let's get right into it. So well, if we look at the resources real quick, there's only 21 resources in this deck because we have a very low curve. I'll go ahead and start with the one drops. We got Fang of the Mountain God here. We have Scrivener. Um, so got some low drops, and then I guess maybe I should go into like the synergies first. So the highlights of the deck are going to be um, you want to be gaining incremental life. You want to be gaining life in increments. So because we have 4 Righteous Paladin, who gets +1/+1 whenever you would gain life. And then we also have 4 copies of Incantation of Righteousness. Whenever you gain life, it gets a counter. Once he gets 5 counters, it becomes a 4/4 life drinker. And if your health is above 20, he gets +2/+2 to all your dudes, which is pretty good. Um, so those are like the main cards in the deck. It's like the deck is basically built around those guys, trying to get counters on them. That's why we run Gazog, because we can life drain the opponent every time we get 2 charges. And charge those things up. We also have Scrivener whenever we play a troop, charge those things up. There's some cool combos in the deck. If you get a Princess Victoria out early, if she's in your opening hand, for instance, and cost 0, you can play her in combination with Fang of the Mountain God. And what that will do is it will actually negate the damage he does to you every turn. It will also give him life drain, which makes him even better. So he basically becomes an even better 2/2 for 1 than before, and then he's also charging up all of your paladins and your incantations at the beginning of each turn. Same concept also works with the malfunctioning warbot. He becomes a much better troop for just instead of just a 2/2 for 2 that hits someone randomly. He's now got life drain. If he hits you, you basically negate the drawback completely, and are actually turning it into a benefit by charging up your paladin incantation. And he also, if he hits the opponent, it's almost like a free Gazlog activation. So they lose 1, you gain 1. So it's like having extra champion powers when that happens. It's just like so much value there. And then we also have the Shamed Gladiator. I have the Life Drain gem in him, so it's a little hard to come by getting the both a blood and double diamond out. But like this deck loves having that combination of double diamond and 1 blood. Usually, basically the only thing that you can't cast is the Vampire King. But for the most part, that's the combination you're going to want as far as shards go. And yeah, giving the Shamed Gladiator life drain not only gives him life drain, but also makes it so that when he comes into play, he will do 2 damage to you, but you negate the drawback because you gain the life right back, and it charges your paladin and your incantation once again. So there's an ongoing theme with the deck of charging up your incantations and paladins to like insane levels extremely quickly. Like I flipped incantations on people turn 3 all the time and swung for like 18 on turn 4. It can get some pretty good god hands. If we talk about the other cards in the deck, we actually have Cloud Knight. It's kind of self-explanatory. It's a 3/2 with flight and steadfast and life drain, so it's pretty good. And also Vampire King, another life drain troop who creates more life drain troops while getting rid of troops in your opponent's hand. So like all the things we could ever want, Vampire King gives us, and he's also at the top of our curve. He's sort of like one of those bombs for us when the weenie game doesn't work out, or if we get extinction, or we need some sort of backup plan. The Vampire King can help. And then we actually run Infernal Professor, and there's actually something interesting with Infernal Professor. If most of the things in the deck are cost less than 2, so you, except for like crazy threshold requirements, you should be able to cast whatever you search for immediately, so you don't have to take the damage for it, because it'll be at 0. The only exception being Princess Victoria. What's nice is it gives you another way of getting Princess Victoria down to a lower cost, so she inspires more things. Because at 3, she really doesn't do anything for you in this deck. You only have the only things that she could inspire would be the Cloud Knight and the Vampire, and those are already more than 3. I mean, they already have Life Drain, or more than 3, so like it doesn't matter. Then everything else is what you want Life Drain on. So getting a Infernal Professor on a Princess Victoria is actually kind of helpful, and can be worth the 2 damage, just to be able to have a 1-cost Princess that will hit all the things we want to hit, like the another Paladin, or a Warbot, or the Fang, things that trigger. Also, I didn't mention before, but like Shame Gladiator, sometimes if you don't have the threshold, having a 0/1 cost Princess Victoria will have the same effect. So those times where you're finding it hard to get that double diamond threshold, you can still do that same combo if you have a Victoria out there to inspire him. Another interesting thing about Infernal Professor, let's go back to that again, is that besides the Victoria, if it hits the Cloud Knight or the Vampire King, unfortunately, like if you do it turn 2, you won't be able to cast either of these things. But because they have Life Drain in the way the game's currently working, at the beginning of your turn, when you take the 2 damage for it being in your hand still, you'll actually Life Drain off of that as well. So you actually negate the drawback of Infernal Professor, and you end up with cards in hand that will continue to trigger your incantation and your Paladin until you're ready to cast it for a super good, cheap cost that Vampire King for 2 is pretty good. So that's basically the deck right there, and like how it works. Very single-mindedly focused on doing stuff with Paladin and Incantation. And if we look at the reserves real quick, I haven't put too much thought into reserves. This isn't like a tournament-ready deck. Just a few things in the reserve. Sorrow, for Falconer, when you're playing up against a deck that has the Gore Feast Falcon combo. Either a Ruby Sapphire or the Wild Sapphire, the Wild Ruby that we saw at the last tournament. Call the Grave for the control matchup, because being able to get a really huge Paladin out and then having them extinction the board, it basically allows us to recur that Paladin that you worked up into like an 8/8 life drain. So it gives you more resiliency against a control deck. I got 3 aversion just because in case I need to revert something. I don't know, maybe some guys running honey caps. I have no idea, but reversion could come in handy. And then I also have 4 Inquisition. Maybe if I'm playing against a diamond deck, I want to be able to Inquisition a marble or something out of their hand just to get rid of it. So that's what I'm running right now. I wouldn't say it's optimal. I'd have to test it a bit. Maybe I don't want the reversion. Maybe I want murders. It really depends on the metagame at the time. But that's just what I decided to run for this. So we can go ahead and go see what Mythic Fish Mom is running today.
Alright, so I'm running one you guys have been requesting for quite a while, which is the Ruby Sapphire Gorestorm deck. It's a little different take on it. It's one that Nero and Dormy and Havoc all played, with Dormy and Havoc finishing fairly well. I think it was like top 16, I think. I'm not sure, I completely remember. But yeah, so we're trying Gorestorm out. I'm not very experienced with it, but I'll go over how it goes anyway. We got 1 Replicator's Gambit, which is kind of cool with your Poke charge power. You can always Gambit that away to hopefully get one later to just get a bunch of damage out of nowhere later in the game if you feel like you're gonna need that. Got 1 Burn to the Ground to deal with things like angels and stuff. or just get the ending reached there. Got our Cerulean Mirror Knight, which is a way to come back from extinction as well as trade off our troops and get some more card draw out of it. Kind of helps us build up after our board gets swept by something like Sorrows or whatever. We've got two Lord Benjamins as ways to dig for our humans here, because we have a pretty human-themed deck with the Mirror Knights being humans, Pyromancers, Falconers, all that kind of stuff being humans. So he helps us dig through our deck, as well as if he dies, he'll usually be inspired by a Mirror Knight or a just a Mirror Knight, and we can draw a card off him anyway. So pretty nice card to have in the deck. We've got 3 Time Ripples, which are really nice to help with our tempo, because a lot of times what you want to do is like bounce your opponent's troops out of the way, and then Gore Feast the following turn and just kill them. So very tempo themed deck, so you will want to have all the tempo you can possibly have. Got 4 Ruby Pyromancers, which are really nice with the Poke Charge power to be 4 damage out of nowhere, and with a Gore Feast is usually just game with a Pyromancer and charge power in general, can just win the game. Also inspires like 90% of our troops, so actually all of our troops, so even better. We've got 4 Buccaneers, again more tempo, just to try to get our troops through. Helps us draw some cards off the cards like Mentalist, also helps us deal with things like Vampire King to be able to make them so they don't gain life, and all that kind of jazz. Got 2 Mentalists. Some decks we usually want to run 3. I think 2 is probably right. It doesn't inspire all that many troops, and you're not really planning to go very long with this deck. You kind of want to just slam Gore Feast and get it over with. So the Mentalist is more of a long game plan, so I think having 2 of them is probably fine, just in case. We've got 3 Lord Alexanders, which again don't inspire too many things. They inspire the Buccaneers, the Mentalist, and the Falcons. But again, like post extinction or whatever, having a bunch of speedy troops, never a bad thing. Got Stormcall, which again more tempo. Can just win the game by itself if you Stormcall your opponent, and then follow it up with the Gore Feast. Will almost always just steal a game from your opponent. Got 4 Royal Falconers, which are just amazing. A 2-cost, a 4-cost 2/1, a little different than what I was gonna say. Comes into play with 2 other Falcons that are also 2/1s, and if you have inspired by Pyromancer, they become 4/1s, I believe it is. So does a lot of work, and then with the Gore Feast after that, just can win a game by itself right there too. And then we got the namesake of the deck being Gore Feast, which is probably the second most powerful card in the set. Just again, a Gore Feast plus a charge power alone is 9 damage, which is just tremendous. So really just put it in perspective there of how powerful Gore Feast can really be. And for the resources, because I probably should cover that first, we've got 9 Sapphire, 13 Rubies, and 2 Shards of Fate. Again, we're heavier on the Ruby side because we want to get to double Ruby, which is a little more important than getting double Sapphire, which is the only thing we have is Stormcall. So really want to hit the double Ruby, so we don't have 13 Rubies over the Sapphires. And that's our main deck. So we'll look at our reserves here. Got 4 Burns, which we're going to bring in probably for the mirror matches. Just dealing with some troublesome little weenies like Howling Braves, Princess Victorious, stuff like that. Got 1 Time Ripple if you need that extra tempo. We got 3 Counter Magics, which are really good for dealing with things like Sweepers or Garalks or stuff like that. Stuff that we kind of need to deal with that we can't really deal with otherwise. Got 3 Dreamers, which is something I'm trying out personally. I know Nero didn't have them in the sideboard, and I want to try them out. I liked the idea with the list that made it into the top 8 that had the Damage Demon Dreamer that then drew a card off of the Mentalist. So figure I'll try it out in the sideboard, see how it works out. I like it better in the reserves than the main deck. Things are so clunky in the main deck, but figure I'll try it out. We got 2 Garalks, which I feel like they're definitely fit for the sideboards over the main deck, because the triple threshold and the 5 cost, you don't want it in every matchup, but there are matchups you definitely do want them in, so it's nice to have the accessibility of having them there. And we've got 2 Legionnaires, which don't get inspired by too much. It's usually going to be for like 1 or 2, but even if it's just a heat wave, a one-sided heat wave, and then if it has like speed off of Lord Alexander or whatever, still very, very powerful effect. So I think underrated card, not underrated card in the mirror matchups. So definitely something to try out. So that's the deck. So we'll just jump right into the games.
Okay, we're recording.
Okay.
And we're going. And so, coin flip side goes first.
The only one that matters. Every other one we go by
Yep.
the actual rules. I forgot. I ran out of words for a second there. So this matchup seems awful for me. With all the life gain you have, it just seems like the worst thing ever for me.
Yeah, it's, I think it favors me in the beginning. What the fuck is this? Oh, man.
This hand's pretty awful as well. I'm gonna go ahead and mulligan it. I don't like it.
We're gonna have to put in dolphin sounds for when I say that. I need to think about this one for a while. Do I keep this?
Yeah, so we were doing practice games before this one. We were both drawing fairly awfully.
Yeah, it's basically whoever did it. It wasn't like the opponent interacted. It's just like whoever's deck decided not to give them anything to play lost, and the other person won because their deck's like, oh, well, here you go.
Yeah, so
It wasn't like a mediocre hand versus like a bad. It was like a super insane good hand versus a terrible hand and top deck mode, and then it flipped like 50-50. I think I'm gonna keep this hand and just see what happens.
All right. This hand's better than the first one, but still not great overall. I mean, maybe it's great. I haven't had much experience with Gore Feast, but it doesn't, like, it seems kind of underwhelming to me. Mostly because it doesn't have a Gore Feast in it.
Yeah, we're on the draw, so that's kind of part of the reason why we took this hand. So this isn't as bad as I thought. So I think I really don't like playing a Shard of Fate, but I have to. And that's another reason why that hand was kind of like something I had to think about. It's because, yeah, when you have a champion like Gazog, a Shard of Fate is not the ideal, ideal card.
Yeah, we have got the Sapphire we really needed there. Not that we needed it for anything in our hand, just I like having the Sapphire. Makes me feel better inside.
There's several ways to do this one. Just gonna play out one of these guys. Yes.
So if he's stumbling, we could potentially have a really fast hand here. Though nothing's showing us he's stumbling yet, but still though. Just stating facts.
At 18. What he has.
If he hadn't played anything there, I'd probably be playing the Alexander first before attacking his repel, but since he played something that didn't matter.
Right, so several ways we can do this. We can play this first, or we can play that first, then play that and that. Seeing that he's playing the Gore Feast color combination, I might be more interested in playing this one first. But yeah, there's just so many, ways of doing this, and then so many things factor into that. Also, the fact that I already have an incantation out. So, just think about it real quick. If we go with him first, then that, we get 3 charges on the incantation. And then 4 with the charge power. If we do it the other way, we get only 1 charge power. If we do it that way. If we do him first, then that we're getting 2 charges on each. So maybe that's what we want to do to get the best out of this. Maybe. But yeah, it's sort of weird. So, we'll try that. People might think this is bad, but it might be right. So we play the Paladin first, then the Scrivener. So we get 2 charges spread across 2 things, and we'll play Victoria last. So we could have had like 3 charges on the incantation, but I think this is fine. And not having the life drain on the Paladin kind of hurts a bit, but he only would have been a 3/3 to start with, so we'll see what happens. And then I'm also going to use the champion charge power here. So I have the possibility of blocking the Alex without any tricks, like, so we'll do that, get that, and pass. Sorry for taking so long of a turn.
It's all good.
It's just you know the line. There's like several lines of play there, with no like clear cut right answer. So too many options. Too many options is better than no options, I guess.
You got like 2 lines of play. One's probably correct, one's probably wrong. I'm gonna go ahead and just go with whatever one I feel like is less wrong.
Sounds good.
Go with Falconer.
So Falconer's pretty sweet.
Yeah, 2 hasty, 8 damage in the air is not the worst. Those 2 1-power guys really ruined my plan that I originally had, but yeah, you know. Plans have to be ruined sometimes.
Going 13. Ouch.
So I'm mostly just fearing like a pony or a vampire king or something next turn.
Oh, these draws are not good. We had to play that out. Get another counter there. It's a 6/6.
I do think they inspire each other before they die, though, which is nice.
Yeah.
I learned that when I was playing the Inspire deck in the tournament. Like, Inspiring and Alexander, that would be double Inspire, you would die, then the other one gets speed and has the same ability. It was pretty sweet.
I mean, there's not much we can do here. If he has Gorf, he's pretty much dead. We have no way to block flying. Attacking doesn't even do anything either. Like, he'll even just take the damage if he has to kill, so.
Unfortunately, I don't think I have the kill.
Too many draws.
It's not a bad one. Also not quite a good one, though. I'm just gonna go for as much damage as possible here.
Makes sense.
I hope to kill you next turn. I don't know why I keep dragging my troops around instead of actually clicking on them. I've done it like 17 times today.
We have 8 in the air. And 8 on the ground, or 10 on the ground, so it's, yeah, it's 18 damage. So... this kind of sucks.
On the puzzle, I can flip your incantation this turn because of Prince of Victoria.
Yeah, I can flip the incantation. I don't want to block. I don't want to stop. I'll probably have to stop one of the 4 damages. Let's think. Go 8. Need to stop another 6.
Actually, could have killed you if I had attacked with the Falconer.
Maybe. Yeah.
I didn't do the math.
You did. Math is hard.
Hey, it's difficult.
Well, that's my turn. Like, what is? Can I get away with killing the Pyromancer? No. I need to block both the 4s. That leaves me with taking 5 plus 8. Yeah, just being 1 short. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I have to do. It's gonna die either way. Oh. I go to 2. So he's not gonna be pumping anyone.
The 4/4 left range are irrelevant though in the matchup. I mean, I still have the flying damage though, but
Hmm.
yeah, I gave you a free turn by not attacking with the Falconer there. Stupid mistake.
See, I can gain 6, 7, and you can attack for 8. So there's no point. That's a game. I'll just concede here. And we'll go to game 2. I would like to play first.
It's too bad.
Not allowed.
So in the middle of the first game, a tournament prize thing popped up. So hopefully it's not a big deal.
So, hopefully we don't get 3 Princess Victoria. That wouldn't be ideal.
So you had last game.
Last game I had drawn all 3 copies of the 4. It's not what I want to see. Rather see almost anything else, really. His hand is playable, but nothing like fantastic here. Go ahead and keep it, because I'm pretty sure if I mulligan, I'll just end up with something even worse, probably.
I wanted to keep that last hand, but I couldn't do it. Just a million 4-drops and 2 resources.
Sounds good.
This one's a little bit better, but not a whole lot.
So we're looking for that magical 2 diamond, 1 blood ratio. We can get a resource.
I'm looking for that 1 sapphire.
When you're playing this deck, you'll want to hold on to your charge powers until necessary. Like I could like throw Gazaga right now and try to get a counter on Incantation, but there's no reason to. Like if I get a 3rd resource, then I would consider it. Like if I go to 3 charges, because it means if I top deck a resource, then I'll miss the opportunity to maximize my charge usage. So. Not bad.
Got there.
So go ahead and just add a counter. Go ahead and play that. Seems good.
Doesn't
alright.
sound very good to me.
No, it's good.
I mean, it's a beautiful card.
Like it's just standing on the clouds. Like it's probably on a cliff or something, but from the artwork that you can see, it looks like it's just standing like on the clouds.
It's because it's a heavenly pony.
Yeah. And remember, that's a foot down there. That's not the rider's foot.
Um, I think this is where familiarity comes in with the deck because I'm not very familiar with it. So team playing another one of these out or just trying to be more aggressive and slamming this down. I think I'm gonna just do this. If I hadn't played a pony, this would be fine, but I think at this point, pony's gonna just eat my face. So
Possibly. So this hand's actually working out. I'm okay with this. Go ahead and play this guy out. Good times.
So that's the problem with facing these diamond decks is like just the amount of life drain they have is just so overwhelming. Well, that's not fun. I'm not really a fan of a million times of that happening.
You stuck on 3 as well?
Stuck on 3 as well.
Alright.
Except for my 3 isn't a flying 3/2 life drain.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna slam Alexander here.
seemed good. He's a 3/3 body.
Yeah, and given the opportunity, I'll trade it with your paladin for sure. Give me
Yeah.
them draws.
Oh. So we'll pump the paladin.
Never mind. I take it back.
And here's a neat trick.
No tricks.
We go ahead and I don't know if I want. Actually, I don't want to attack the paladin. Maybe, yeah. We'll do this first. It's because I have double diamond. He's got the life drain, so he triggers. To kill the paladin, he would have to trade his entire board to do enough damage, or not trade his board, but he would have to throw everything out in front.
I have a 2-for-1 myself to do it.
So yeah, he would 2-for-1 me. He would draw 2 cards off of it because I'd definitely not kill the one that draws a card.
Why not, man? It seems like the right play.
But I'm okay with that if that's what he's gonna do, because I have plenty of plays in my hand. So.
And I think that is what I'm going to do. Because I just don't want that getting more and more out of hand.
Yeah.
Just the bigger it gets, the more trouble.
Why doesn't Pony have Swift Strike?
Because then it'd be Baneslayer Pony.
It would be. Okay, so let's see. This one, it dies, draws a card. You can go last. So yeah,
Still
he'll
drawing 2 cards, but not
2
not the
cards
worst thing.
still good for him.
Especially considering my current hand.
So now that guy's I got that guy out. He's pumping stuff, and then second main phase, let's throw out a malfunctioning warbot. That's a 4/4. So,
Yeah, that's where things get really hairy for me. Not the best of situations. I could do this, but doesn't really do a whole lot.
So he can play Falconers here. He has Stormcall possibility.
Think this is the way to go about it. Just let him Falconer, trade off with a pony, block something else, go to 8, and then hope to draw like Gore Feasts and Stormcalls off of my like 7 draws. And even that may not be, he's at 28, he's going to gain more next turn, so it's just so many 4/4s.
So the Warbot did not hit me. That's pretty good. Let's see here. Definitely going to keep the Sentinel back. Go ahead and attack here. I'm okay with trading the pony. I'm gaining 5 health. So actually gaining 9 health this turn.
We shouldn't do this. Draw all the cards.
Right.
I just need to draw no way to actually deal with this field. I have no way to deal with it otherwise.
You just drew a lot.
Yeah, a lot of nothing though, unfortunately.
It's unfortunate. Unfortunately, second main phase will drop that guy. He seems okay. At a 5/6.
Especially considering my deck is mostly troops, and I just drew many cards.
Yeah. There's no way he can play all his troops next turn. Though if he plays a Falconer, he should be able to block it, no problem. He didn't opt to do, if even capable. He's gonna bounce something. It's like the Vampire King, and that's what he does. So I need a shard to replay it. So it's the best target for the Buccaneer.
Yeah, bouncing the Sentinel doesn't do anything. You just replay it and
Yep.
rebuffs your field.
Yeah. Everything else I have is just way too cheap. So we're gonna gamble here and see what happens. Since we can't cast the Vampire King, let's see what we get. It's not too bad. I'll take it. He doesn't have enough to trade with the Sentinel, so we can attack with it this turn. We're free. We'll be gaining 8 health. He has no resources open. So. The only thing is he'll be able to draw a card, but I'm okay with that, as I just need to press my advantage right now.
Yeah, I mean, nothing I can really draw would be able to get me out of the situation anyway, so...
He can get storm calls, but that just, slows me down. It doesn't stop me. So.
Yeah, you're at a high enough life total where even if a storm called in the Gore Feast, it's pretty much impossible for me to deal 44 damage to you.
Yeah.
That pony, though.
This is looking grim.
It's not looking great.
I can deal 2 damage to myself and bring myself to 42. But 42 just seems so out of reach for his deck right now. So looks like we're going to be 1-1. And then we go to the sideboards, and I think that's going to be a problem for me. I don't like actually diluting my deck.
Yeah, you work very much on a combo deck, so...
Yeah. So the sideboard's actually way better for him. So he's just gonna stall. Alrighty.
I mean...
Well,
my other option was to die, so... I feel like stalling is a safe option.
Why can't you just die? Alright. We got our buddy, Malfunctioning Warbot, holding down the fort. He's got this. He looks like a dependable fellow that you can count on.
So do this. So they're gonna draw just 2 cards or 3 cards. Either way, I'm okay with it.
This is interesting. So we have some options here. If we block it, he draws 2 cards. And immediately. If we don't block it, he draws 1 card immediately and then 2 at the end of his turn. So I'm thinking I'd rather only give him the option. Like in the end, he'll end up with an additional card, but he'll only have one card to play this turn rather than two cards to play this turn. So like there's some give and take there, but I think what I want to do is only give him the option to see one card before ending his turn. So I'm gonna let it through. And so yeah, he does get more cards in the long run, but like if he doesn't have anything in hand, or if like if he's like searching for a Stormcall or something, or a Falconer.
Yeah, I mean, I was for sure. No, I was digging for a Stormclaw. I had the Falcon the whole time. That's why I would leave the 4 open to first get the card to see if I get a Stormclaw to play that instead.
Yeah, I'm trying to play in the short term here, which may or may not be correct.
Well,
he goes to 1
well,
from the the Warbots. Pretty good.
That wasn't bad.
It's ridiculous. All right. So 4/4s are coming in, and Pony, sure. If he loses all of his flight troops, I'm okay with that. Because those are the only things really that become a problem for me later on.
Yeah, and I can't not block anything either because I'm at 1. So, yeah.
Like when it comes to aggro decks, I think between two aggro decks, the one with the evasion wins out. So, might as well play these out, I guess.
So, we're pretty much dead, some could say.
He's got 16 cards, so you can probably Stormclaw us for days, I guess.
Yeah.
He's gonna run out eventually. Even if he does Gore Feast a couple times, we just seem so far ahead.
Yeah, man, I can't deal anywhere near 47 damage at any point yet. So, discard some cards here. 1, 2.
And then yeah, and also the fact that he's at 1 and has no way of gaining life, like he can die at any minute to my Warbot.
Yeah, I could just die in your turn here.
Yeah, without even me having to attack anything. So. Or I can just do 4 to myself. Who knows? Who really knows? Wow. All right.
Wow. Nice. Playing the
Yes.
Hunger Games right now.
Just gonna declare the attack step and watch him tap down all my, exhaust all my troops. Yeah.
Turn all of your troops sideways.
Yep. Pretty good.
Not that other thing.
I was gonna do that anyway, so thanks for turning them sideways for me.
Saved you a step. I mean, you wouldn't have to exhaust your pony, but you know.
Yeah, true. Got a little extra out of it. So I got the, if I get another shard, that's a game. So, not too bad.
Okay.
This game is definitely going on longer than it should have, I feel. Might be thinking of Gore Feast.
Yeah, I mean, I have a Gore Feast. I'm just thinking about whether or not how I should play it.
If you have a Buccaneer, that would be great.
Yeah, I don't think it's enough though. Still, unfortunately.
So, yeah, if you Buccaneer and Gore Feast at 7, you have 2 left after. So,
I think I have to do this.
And then you're going to you probably have another storm call to use.
I
Maybe
don't,
you don't.
unfortunately.
That would
I
be
think I have to get rid of your war boss just to not die on your turn, or take away the chance of dying on your turn.
it's possible. Yeah.
So I got lucky not to die on your turn last time, so I might as well just not leave it to luck anymore.
Okay. So, I mean, it's still 50-50, but we'll find out.
No, it's not.
Oh, you got both of them.
Yeah.
Well played.
Um.
So now we need a resource off the top. Watch as I get a shard of fate. Dex said resource. Here's a resource.
Yeah.
Could get in some damage, I think.
I could
No
bash, but
reason not to.
I'm terrified of everything that happens to the world right now.
Okay.
I've never been this scared in my life.
There it is. Just kidding. Uh, these guys need to attack. He needs to attack. He shall attack as well. As well as this one, and I will keep my sentinel in a very safe spot. Yep.
I apologize because you dog barking. Apparently my father-in-law has no idea that this is recording time.
He knows, he just doesn't care.
More likely, but
Okay, so since he bounced my troops to my hand, they get inspired now. So now they have life drain. And I can't play the other one, but still. Looking good. This
so
is where Myth plays two blood shards and an extinction and last. That'd be the only thing that would surprise me is if you played like a blood shard and like an infusion device and an extinction. Speed.
yeah, he won't be attacking though. I think I have one chance to potentially steal this game from you, and I can't lose troops to do so. I've done a good enough job stalling out. I can't toss away my guys now.
So I could like attack in here. Yeah, I'll try that. Let's try attacking. Surprise, surprise.
Couldn't telegraph that any harder if I tried.
I just want to draw this out a little bit. So I passed the turn.
Yeah, I had a Gore Feast in
So we'll
hand.
go ahead and
So
do
I was
that.
going to go ahead and play the Mentalist Gore Feast with the Charge Power, hoping to hit another Storm Call to get another turn potentially. It's really my only chance there was to do that.
So we're
But
going
yeah.
to sideboard now for games 3 through 5.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Not sure good Legionnaires would be against him. His troops get out of reach of it pretty quickly. But if they don't, he can be pretty solid. I definitely want the Grelks for sure. Probably want the Burns to deal with his early left drain troops. Definitely take out the Gambit. Lord Benjamin doesn't do a whole lot. Could probably take a burn to the ground, but it's really my my best answer to like Vampire Kings and stuff. So gotta keep that in there. Trim down Alexander potentially. Mm. Could take the Mentalists. They're not really the greatest. And we'll trim down a single Gore Feast. I think that's the way we want to go. I'm not sure, but I think that's the way to go. So we'll save it and see how it works out. Legionnaire seems like a potential choice, but again, I can't trust that it'll hit anything in his deck, so better to go with Gralk. So let's see what Mantic's got going.
So probably Inquisition, not so much. I think the only thing we really want out of the sideboard are the Sorrows. The only thing they hit in my main deck are the Scriveners, so it won't be too hard, to play around that. As far as what we take out, it's sort of interesting. Like the Infernal Professors are pretty flexible. Like they can pretty much be taken out easily if we replace a Sorrow. Getting a Sorrow with a Infernal Professor is sort of lame. Like it's like there could be a situation if I Infernal Professor and got a Sorrow that I sided in, like I won't be able to cast it, or there's like nothing for me to use it on, and so I'm just taking damage from it for no reason. So unless I'm already winning the game and like a huge life total, then there's no reason I'd want to do that. So that might be what I do is I'll take out the professors and replace them with the Sorrow. So as much as I like the professor and he works out really well in the main deck, when you start siding in non-troop stuff and non-threat cards, the professor is not as great. So yeah, I have like no main deck action cards whatsoever, which is another reason why the professor is so good. Because anything I get, I'd want to play and put on the table. So yep, Sorrow, and that's it. We'll go ahead and save this, and we'll go ahead and put these professors back in the side or reserves. And we'll go ahead and go to the Proving Grounds for the rest of the games. For the match.
All right. So I'm on the play this time, right? Because I lost last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get to choose to play first. Too. Nice. Always that's when the coin flip works in the way it's supposed to. Ooh. This hand's not great. It's also not awful, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it, but it's not really optimal hand.
So this hand is not the best. It's kind of slow, and we definitely don't want to see these. These are actually the only two in the deck, and not what I wanted to see. But we are in the draw, and we have the potential to get like I said, that a double diamond ruby, or I mean double diamond blood, the double diamond blood that we need to set up. So go ahead and keep it. Hopefully we draw into something. Be nice to draw into like an incantation or something that can something useful. It's not too bad. We can get our diamond. If we draw any more resources, we can start getting some charges, which would be nice.
Not a great draw, but not awful either. Bucking just don't work in the matchup, so it's not bad to have him. Now I know, now I told him on a drill. Not the best did, yeah, but whatever.
Not even listening. I don't know
That's
anything
fine
you're
then.
talking about. Gonna get another diamond. Just in case we get like a paladin or something. I'll kick myself if we get a vampire or something. And that's it.
So hopefully we can draw something to play here. Nope. I'm gonna hold this back. No reason to play anything out here for zero value.
So now that we have blood, we're gonna start playing some stuff. Might as well. So I'll play Fang. And kind of wish I had like some sort of paladin or incantation app before I play that, but I'll go ahead and play it out now. Because the sooner we start life draining him, the better chances we have against his deck. We need to get out of range of a Gore Feast combo.
So it's a little late to the party here to draw this guy. I don't really want to do this, but let's see for something a little more important. Could do this to that guy. Not the greatest to use either, though. Could play this out the time to then inspire these two later, but none of those options really seem that great. I think we start building today for a better tomorrow and slam this guy.
It's a night.
Building tonight for a better tomorrow, then I guess. That was a horrible plan. I feel like a dad.
Dad jokes. Love it. We're just swinging. He's probably not blocking because he wants to inspire something.
You know, maybe I want to save 4 damage. Maybe that was the inspire I was talking about, was being inspired not to take 4 damage to the face.
Second main phase, we'll go ahead and play our top deck. Whee!
It's such a bit of a problem. Not a huge one though.
Expecting Buccaneers. Buccaneers everywhere.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and Buccaneer it, I think. Let's me a trade-off with this guy. And he can't recast because he missed a resource drop, so it's a draw resource too. So go ahead and bash with Mirror Knight.
Reporting damage counts.
They do.
Being above 20 is sort of a thing for me too.
So again, I'm not sure. I feel like with Gore Feast decks, you're not supposed to be trading off as aggressively as I've been trading off with you. So maybe I'm playing this deck entirely wrong. It's very possible.
Kind of wondering how I want to play this turnout. We could play this to try and basically get in 4 damage. Thing is, like, if he gets a Falconer, that could be pretty bad. But we'll go ahead and play for the now. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna go for it here. And I'm an idiot.
It's a double sorrow.
Well, actually, I was going to. Never mind. I'm being dumb. That was just a bad play.
um,
For some reason, I was thinking my troops would be not be affected. I'm thinking of a different card
I think
in
let
a
me just
different
take
game
the 2
entirely.
damage instead. Um,
It's dumb.
yeah, I'm just gonna, I'll take the one. I'll take the damage. It's fine.
That was just a bad play. I'm gonna have to edit the video. It did not happen. Oh man, where was I going with that? I just want to play him. Is what I want. What I should have done is played him out. Maybe attacked with Scrivener, see if he'd block, and then play the Sorrow after blocks.
So I'm good and just slam this now.
Yep, might as well.
I mean, you could have a second star, which is maybe what he was thinking about doing before I sweep my field. Um, but if he sweeps my field now, I still draw 3 cards off it, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. Gives me more chances to draw and just Gore Feast.
So we really need a blood right now. Any resource would be nice, but a blood resource would be preferable. And say we get this guy. Not too bad. I think it's safe to attack.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this here. The life training is just is important, so I really wanted to gain 2 more life. I know he has a pony in hand still, but I can deal with that in other ways. So I'm just gonna not trade off here. Take the 2. So he's back over 20 again. Let's see what we can draw here. It's not a bad one. Let's just go for this. Yeah, I'm okay with that trade. I want to draw the card anyway, so I'm very okay with that. Even more okay with what I drew off of it. So let's go ahead and slam this one.
Time to top deck, Sorrow.
Again, though, I still draw I draw 6 cards off of it, so I wouldn't be that sorry. Get it?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. See what you did there.
I wasn't sure if that was still too deep.
She said.
It's a mature hand.
So mature. I need to mature up.
Yeah, definitely need to mature up. So I'm
just
just
swing
gonna
in
keep
here.
taking 2.
Yeah. I feel like if he gore feasts me, I'm dead anyways. There's so much in the air right now. And I really needed the 4th resource to replay the pony. Just so happens I have a lot of things in my hand that cost 4.
I'm just gonna do this.
In a deck of things that are all cost 4 except for 1 card.
Four, 6, 8. I'll let it be. I'll let it go.
Alright, these guys are probably gonna kill us, so I don't know. Probably should have skipped through my combat.
I was wondering about that. 2, 4, 6, 8.
So this is a second mistake. So I need to wake up and start playing again. We'll go ahead and let him draw some cards.
Does keep him from dying next turn though, which is unfortunate for us. Good for him though.
Not dying is a good thing.
We'll do some nice draws, for sure.
We're still short of a resource to play our cards. It's a bit unfortunate. That's like just as bad as last time.
Pretty much. The discard? Damn. Didn't realize that.
Keep the resources.
I actually do want the resource. Man, they discard so many cards. Actually,
I'm guessing he must have multiple Gore Feast and Buccaneers. Oh, finally. Praise the Lord.
I see what you did there.
I'm gonna need to drain here. Actually, can't attack with these because of Gore Feast, etc. So.
But I just discarded Gore Feast.
Right.
I did discard my only copy of Gore Feast, to be fair. But as long as I didn't need it.
Oh man. You got there. So, besides me playing like an idiot, we also had a bit of a problem getting a fourth resource. And he played very well. So.
I didn't feel like you meant that one.
No, I do. You played. You played. You didn't make mistakes. You just played well, and that's basically what it comes down to: is not making mistakes and a little bit of luck, the right combinations. So we'll play again, and I will play first this time.
That wasn't Mantic who challenged me. So getting Quindolph.
Named who?
A sweet name, Quindolph.
Quindolph.
Sounds like a Lord of the Rings character.
It does. Yeah.
An elf, which is also a Lord of the Rings character, I guess. So, fair enough.
So we are playing first this time. This hand is okay. We'll go ahead and keep it.
This hand is already horrible, and I haven't seen all the cards for it. This hand is slightly better, but not quite a lot better.
Sounds like you had like nothing but resources.
No, it was just like a million. It was like 4 storm goals.
I feel like if you're playing a diamond deck, or your opponent knows that you have diamond in your deck already, that you might as well start off with the diamond shard, just to make them think that an angel could pop out at any moment. Like even when drafting, it's like game 1 I'll hide it, you know, if I'm playing like a champion that's not diamond. But once they know I have diamond in the deck, game 2, I just throw that shard out there.
Puts them on auto tilt.
Puts them on tilt, yeah. They don't know what's gonna happen. They're just scared. Deathly afraid.
So we let off with the Shards of Fate there to better use our resources. Couldn't play anything turn 1, so might as well get that out of my face.
Yep.
Did you go for the Ruby pooping answer?
Seems good.
So something like a pony turn 3 can be slightly problematic.
So we don't have the turn 3 pony. We're at 3 charges, so I'll go ahead and use my power now before I go down to so I go down to 1. So if I get a shard and play it next turn, I can be ready to use it. Play a Warbot, and I guess we'll drop out the Fang while we can. Put some pressure on.
Yeah, those early 2/2s are just so problematic for the deck. They really want you to not to be playing that stuff. So if you could stop, it'd be very appreciated.
These are things I could have played on turn 1 and 2, but I don't because there's no threat. But once he has a threat out, I respond. Because I'd rather just hold them in my hand until I get a Scrivener and just drop all my troops. It's just, it's just the strategy with the deck. Alright, so looks like the bot hit him, which is nice.
Oh, my function warbot's almost always gonna hit me.
Just
My own always hit me too. It functions properly, which is hitting me all the time.
Go ahead and we can afford attacking here. Fuck that. He'll probably trade with the malfunctioning if he trades at all.
Yeah, I won't be trading.
Alright, he's saving up for rainy day.
Gotta have a rainy day fund.
So we don't have another diamond threshold, which would be nice to get all our thresholds ready. But we'll go ahead and play that out.
It's a good one. Bit of a good response to that, so that's my response.
That's a card, is what you say.
Essentially.
That's a hex card.
So I could attack there, but I mean, he's not gonna block it because there's always a possibility of burn or burn to the ground or something like that. And just no reason to attack.
Indeed. So we did get another diamond here. So I guess throw this guy out. Attacking.
So before we can gain life, we can kill it off.
Yep.
Still a very good possibility to play as a troop post combat.
He has a Gore Feast in hand. So 1 of 4 cards, Gore Feast. We're at 3 charges again. So second main phase, we're gonna use our chat power.
Unfortunately for me, the other 3 cards are awful. So that's good.
Glad to hear.
The other 4 cards are awful. So not enough to kill him, but enough to make him wish he was dead. So we'll go with that one.
Okay.
But yeah, so even if we didn't do that there, with nothing in hand, we're taking 5 regardless, at least 5, potentially more than that. So doesn't actually matter that we didn't kill him, but let's at least put the fear of God in him, which is always a good thing to have for game 3.
Yeah.
5, and we're at what, 2 and 3 at this point now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Are we 2, 3? It was wait.
I don't remember.
You, me. Then game 3 was. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Game 3 was last against game 4, so it's gonna be 3-1.
Okay.
Yeah, so. Yeah, there's just so much life so much life grain, which is delicious from what I hear. But yeah, nothing we can do about that.
Yep. Alright, so yeah, we're just stacking for a bunch.
And when you draw nothing but resources, nothing you can do about it. I feel like my opening hand is pretty fine, just didn't get anything to go along with it.
So this is it, right? We're 2-2 now?
We're 3-1 now, I think. I don't know. This is game 5. That's all I know is game 5.
Okay.
They've all been kind of quick games, aside
Yeah,
from that one super long game.
they're all blending together.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at the replay.
You've already played 7 games and didn't even realize it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think so. I mean, if you count the practice games,
Oh no, we
yeah.
were 2-2. We were 2-2 because I had the game where I killed the Grok, so we were 2-2.
Okay.
Fair enough. All right, so now this is an actual game 5, or this is the 6th game, and we're all idiots. Both are very possible possibilities.
Hmm.
This hand's not awful, but again, not great.
So this hand doesn't have any like combos in it, but we could just go balls to the wall here. Make it a exciting final match. Seems good. And keep.
This hand, I'm gonna go ahead and lead off with a Sapphire. Make them think we got a burn.
Sounds good.
Just because we don't know what we want to get with our Shards of Fate, so instead of our usual Shards of Fating.
It's only a top deck away, that angel.
And entirely 4 cards out of do deck.
I didn't tell you about my super secret sideboard.
So we're going with Mirror Knight here. Still a possibility we want to get a Ruby with this, but looking more likely we want a Sapphire. Probably should get a Sapphire anyway, considering we're playing more Ruby than Sapphire. The odds of drawing a Ruby are just higher.
Get a warbot out there.
A perfectly functioning Warbot could hit me in the face every turn. Let's just go grab a Sapphire. And hope we don't get punished by drawing nothing but Sapphire for the rest of the turns. We're gonna go ahead and let that one go. Frozen style.
So he's one. The wind and sky. I have nothing to really charge up, so I'll go ahead and so we're at 3 charges. Use that. Then just a little attack here.
So you can tell by that he's being very aggressive, and his hand's just monstrous. We can't tell it at all. I'm just making things up, mostly.
Yeah. The way he got extra sapphire is I'm feeling like Grok, because Grok is triple sapphire, so I'm feeling like he has a Grok in hand. That's what that's the vibe I'm getting. Don't know if that's true or not.
So this is why we let that one go, so we can burn that opponent's face. With kisses mostly, but
Oh,
otherwise burns as well.
burninated.
So we're gonna go ahead and bring on the beats. Boom. That's a taste.
My incantations are useless now.
So we're gonna slam Royal Falconer. Really don't want to even bother trading, but I do want to draw cards. Like the temptation to draw cards is there, but it's not the right play to trade it for anything. That one hit you?
I think so.
Feels good.
Guess we attack. Probably trade the bird.
I want to, but I'm not going to.
Oh, okay. I think we're gonna try and gain some health here. So, go and gain 1. Gain
There's definitely some
2,
health. That's definitely some health.
3.
So we just ended up playing against the Count from Sesame Street.
And a 4.
Ah, ah.
And a 5 health. Ah, 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 ah.
So, now we know we're playing against the Count. It's a little bit different. Got a little bit different lines of play to go for here. That wasn't any of the lines we were looking to play. We'll bash in for 4.
Yep.
And I think we should go ahead and buck one of the fangs back. Slow him down a little bit. Let's stop my vibrator from going off. Just need to hit either a 5th resource or a Gore Feast. And be solid. It does give him another health.
I feel like you'd want to do the Warbot, right?
Yeah, I thought it after I did it too.
It costs more. It's not guaranteed to do damage to me. So, yeah.
It's actually almost certainly guaranteed to do damage to me. But this is all in hindsight.
Yeah.
Well, it's in foresight if you thought about it, but I didn't think about it.
Yeah, no one does. Who does that? Who thinks about things before they do them?
I mean,
right?
You can way too much credit.
We just swinging. Like we ain't afraid of no Gorestorm. Right?
So we're gonna trade off with a Warbot here. That's why I did it.
Oh wow.
2 turns ahead.
Outplayed.
That's not a bad one.
Replay that guy.
It's not a bad one.
Probably gonna replay that. Yeah, this isn't very good. I can't say I ever wanted to have like all my fangs in play without like a 0 cost Victoria first. But...
Alright, so we're gonna bash for 4 here. That was not the resource we were looking for. So it feels okay. I feel like we could maybe get this one. He'd have to top deck a troop. And we have to not top deck a Sapphire.
Well, this is terrible.
This could be risky, but I'm going to take the damage.
He's taking the damage. Wow. Whatever. Do I want to lose the Scrivener? Yeah, I do.
2, 4, 6, 7. So I'd go to at least... If he has a... if he just drew a Sorrow, though, this is going to be a Sad Panda day. But I do draw 3 cards off this, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Alright. So now we're good. The reason I wanted to take the damage is because I have a Storm Call in hand. So if you play the troop post-combat, I can tap it down. Whereas if you did it before, it actually ruins my plans of just killing him next turn. So. That's that.
Gore.
The only thing that ruined that play would have been a troop post-combat, so he couldn't deal 2 damage to us otherwise, so the risk trade-off there.
Right. Good games.
Gotta live on the edge sometimes. If one thing Lady Gaga taught me is that you have to be on the edge of glory. And
Yep.
then Lord taught me that glory and gore go hand in hand. So that's why I did that.
That's deep.
It's a very convoluted
No, I
story.
understand all of it. It all makes sense
It
now.
makes sense. It's like
The world is a better place now because I know this. Like, I've unlocked the secret of life.
though again, if he had a top deck like Life Siphon that I didn't know he had in his deck, that'd be a little bit brutal.
Nah, top deck Sora would be enough.
Nah, not really. I just need to draw a Sapphire, so I could tap you down from the Sapphire to keep your troops tapped. You then deal damage to yourself. I then untap again, Gore Feast, and then sorrow you or whatever. Then Stormcall you, whatever. So isn't two
That
afraid
burn
of
was
that?
pretty good too. The burn.
Oh, the burn
The
was
pony was the
the key.
best. It's the best.
It's the beast. But yeah,
So,
that matchup still doesn't feel great. Like I kind of got lucky to never really explosive start. But if you're a really explosive start, that matchup seems awful for the Gore Feast player. As
yeah,
we
I
saw
mean,
from the other
right? Like
the other games.
I have like I didn't get any crazy starts. They're pretty mostly kind of mediocre, but that deck is capable of getting some really nuts openings. Like I said, I've been able to. I think against Phoenix, I was able to like, if I don't get my things burned in response to like coming into play and things like that, or like you burning Victoria, a zero cost Victoria that I laid down in response to things coming into play, I could flip incantation on turn 3. I can I think against Phoenix I had 2 paladins that I played back to back, and then on the third turn I pumped them up to like 8/8s or something stupid ridiculous like that. Uh,
Yeah, you had those in the practice games you did before, which we
yeah,
always
in
did to
one
make
of the
sure the games
practice
aren't
games we
too bad.
did, I think I ended up doing something like ridiculous like that, where I just
Like an 11/11 paladin turn like 5 or something ridiculous like
yeah,
that.
yeah. I think when I was against Phoenix, it was like I had some huge paladins on turn 3. By turn 4, I was swinging in for 18 with just the paladins alone. So yeah, there's some pretty obscene things you can do. But, I mean, it requires you to have double diamond and a blood shard, and then just getting all the pieces to just fall into place just right. So.
Yeah.
But I like the deck. It's real fun. The only weakness I think would probably be against control deck because you're basically playing out your hand very aggro style, and then they wipe, and you're just like, what do I do now?
Yeah, for sure.
Call the Grave I think helps the matchup because you have so many troops that are so strong. You can just bring them back. And then being able to call a Grave back, maybe like a flipped incantation or something, could be pretty significant.
Yeah, I think in general Call of the Graves are a fairly undervalued card in constructed. Like I know I
Yeah,
played it in the Battle Beetle deck. I know Neo was playing it in his Blood Diamond deck to get back like big totems and whatever is kind of relevant in the matchup, or flipped marbles or whatever. Um, so I think it's just a very underrated card in general. People are
it,
used to it not being that great from other
yeah,
card games, but I think in Hex it definitely has a spot.
yeah. I run I think 4 of those in my combo deck. That's a Sapphire Blood combo, and it's like probably the most competitive, like infinite combo deck that I have so far. But that list isn't really public right now. I should probably write an article about that soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Share that with people. But I think they'd appreciate it. Like it's a gambit deck, and like being able to like either just call the Grave back a Mirror Knight, so you're getting value off of your gambit, or if you sacrifice the gambit creature and then call intentionally and then call the Grave back to your hand and replay it to get multiple gambit triggers. Uh, is basically the way that deck runs. So definitely something I find very valuable in that deck is like key is running the 4 Call the Graves.
Hey guys, Endormi here. Mantic and Mythic forgot about talking about the giveaway, so have it edited post production. Basically, it's the same as every week. If you leave a comment on our forums, you get into the raffle of Draft Butcher plus 3 packs code. So if you're interested in that, post in our forums. Any feedback is appreciated. Just tell us what decks you want to see or what you want, what improvements we want to do, and we'll make our best to do it for you guys. So see you next week, guys. Bye.